So when I start up Scratch, if I click on S for My Stuff, it will show you all of your existing Scratch sketches. I'm going to create a new one by clicking on New Project. And when I do this, it starts out with my standard template, which is just one cat. You'll see in this area called Scripts, I have scripts, costumes, sounds. For now, if you look at scripts, I have blocks or code for motion, dealing with moving things, events, for controlling events in the game or the simulation, control for modifying the execution of code, looks has to do with the appearance of sprites, and we'll talk about the other ones in a bit. For now, let's go to motion and drag the block, move 10 steps out into the script editing area. So this is a command or a block, and if I double click on it, it'll execute that command. You'll see it moved 10 pixels, the cat moved 10 pixels to the right. So the question is, which direction does it move? It moves the direction that the sprite is pointing. Now that doesn't have anything to do with the appearance of the sprite. Rather, if you come over to the sprite and click on this eye, it'll show you the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the sprite, as well as its direction, which is currently 90 degrees. So it's going to move. If I double click on it, notice that x is currently 30. I double click, now x is 40 because it moved 10 pixels to the right. Double click, it's now 50. If I bring out a turn command and double click, you'll notice that the direction is now 105. Double click, 120. Double click, 135. Double click, double click. You'll now see that's pointing 180 degrees or down. So if I click at move 10 steps, before doing that, I'm at location x equal 50, y equal 1, sorry, x equal 50, y equal 10. If I double click, it moves down. X doesn't change, but y does. It goes from 0 to minus 10 to minus 20. Now, if I want to, I can tie two blocks together by sticking them together like Lego blocks. Now if I double click, it'll execute the first command and then the next command and then any other commands after it. So I double click and it moved 10 spaces and it turned 15 degrees. Click, moved and turned, moved and turned, moved and turned, moved and turned. Now it's pointing to negative 90 degrees, which is to the left. So if I click move, it should go to x equals 7 and y equal negative 63, sure enough, and it keeps moving 10 steps in the direction that it's pointing. Now, if I wanted to keep it going around in a circle, I could keep double clicking like crazy, but that's really boring. I'd like to automate that. Under control, I can pull out this block called repeat. And it's saying repeat whatever commands are nestled inside this bracket and do it 10 times. So I'm going to pull these down here, stick them in there, and now I double click, and 10 times it moves and turns, moves and turns, moves and turns. And if I want to, instead of 10, let's just make that 25. So you can see it does a full circle. If I wanted to, I would like to be able to say click on the green flag and it runs, and click on the red stop sign to make it stop. That's under events. It says when the green flag is clicked, run this code. So I'm going to nestle that in there. Now when the green flag is clicked, it runs the code. And if I click on the green flag and then quickly click on the red, click, click, oops, I missed, click, click, it stops it before it finishes the 25 iterations of the loop. That's fine. This is saying run it 25 times. Start, stop. I stopped it before it even done like 8 of them. Finally, if I want to slow this down a little bit, I could move fewer steps. And you might say, well, that'll slow it down. But if I do that, it's no longer really moving. It's just spinning circles. So I guess you could move one step and then turn 1 degree, and that's okay. But I also could go back to move 10 steps and turn 15 degrees. But under control, I'm going to bring out a wait 1 second. So I'm going to say, wait a second, then move and turn, and then repeat. Wait a second, move and turn. So if I click, you see it waits a second and moves and turns, waits a second, moves and turns. And so it's spinning this circle, and it's going to do this 25 times. So for 25 seconds, it'll keep doing this. Now, if I wanted to, instead of doing this inside a repeat loop, and I wanted this to go on forever, I'm going to stop this. I could pull out a forever loop, grab those blocks out of the repeat, nestle them inside the forever, and I'm going to take this repeat and throw it away by moving it off of the script area. I nestle in the forever, and I'm going to change that 1 second to 0.2 seconds, so it's just going a bit faster. And I click go, and so every 0.2 of a second it moves and turns, and it's going to do this forever, for as long as I keep talking, until your computer crashes or you shut it down or you click on the stop button. It's just forever going to keep running this loop, but the stop sign makes it stop.